Elon Musk is a demanding person who never gives up his dreams. That's how he managed to achieve fabulous success with Tesla and SpaceX. We have unfolded some unknown secrets of Elon Musk. So, friends, let's get started. As a little kid, the good thing as a boy, Elon has an insatiable appetite for learning. He would often read a book a day. His most remarkable achievement came after he convinced his dad to buy him a Commodore VIC-20, an old-ass computer. According to the manual, it's supposed to take about 6 months to get through all of the basic lessons. He stayed up to 3 straight days and finished the whole thing. Then he designed an entire video game on it, the source code of which was published in a magazine netting him $500. The bad thing was he was teased and bullied a lot growing up. Sometimes this went as far as physical violence. On one occasion, he was beaten up so badly that he blacked out and was hospitalized for an entire week. And the ugly part of his childhood was his dad seems to be darkest and most private aspect of his life. It appears that he may have been abusive, maybe not physically, but at least mentally. While Musk talked to the author about most topics, he refused to talk about his father, saying he's good at making life miserable. I don't know how someone become like him. Let's talk about business Musk. The good thing is that he left South Africa on his own without anything or anyone. He went to Canada. Well, he stayed for a while without a permanent home until his brother met up with him. They made their way to Palo Alto and started their first business. Zip2 was basically MapGuest before MapGuest, which was Google Maps before Google Maps. It would end up settling for $307 million charging. The bad thing was while Elon and his brother were able to create a successful company, they had problems with their investor powers. The investor forced the product towards media companies as more of a business directory instead of the B2C direction that Musk had hoped. To make matters worse, Elon also experienced his first cancel merger catastrophe. And the ugly part was, less than a decade after being essentially homeless in Canada, Elon was now Silicon Valley's latest rich guy. It's here we see the first signs of Elon's potentially turning into a jerk. He purchased one of the only 62 McLarens, really expensive which in the world. He drove it around so much in the valley that he started to get a dick reputation. Let's see another part of the young and rich Musk. The good thing is that aside from the McLaren purchase, Elon poured all of his money into his next venture, a company that would change the banking industry. At the time, people said he was crazy and that consumers would never trust the security of the internet or for online banking. His company X.com was more successful than anyone had ever thought possible. He even beat out his biggest competitor PayPal, started by Peter Thief, as suggested, as agreed to merge together with Elon, becoming the largest shareholder. What was the bad thing? Wait, I thought Elon founded PayPal? No. You might be thinking to yourself, while Elon was on a plane beginning his honeymoon, one of the nastiest Silicon Valley cups of all time occurred. After the plane landed, he headed straight back to try to save it, only to be forced out as CEO. They later rebranded as PayPal. After another horrible merger process, Elon finally had some time to step back and go on his honeymoon. However, he ended up getting malaria in South Africa and almost died because of it. One doctor said he was a day away from dying. After 6 months and 45 pounds lost, he survived. This was just in one time for eBay to purchase PayPal for $1.5 billion, netting Elon $250 million. Chang, while this might sound like a great thing, a book entitled The PayPal Wars, published right after the deal, that painted Elon as the villain of the entire company. Let's talk about starting SpaceX. After his near death experience, Elon revisited his childhood dreams of going to Mars. He visited NASA's website one day and found no plan or even mention of going to Mars. Taken aback, he headed to Russia to see if he could buy a rocket himself. After being pushed around with ridiculous prices, Elon dove into books studying how rockets are built. On their plane ride from Russia, he declared he would build the rocket himself with a spreadsheet detailing how to do it. This was how SpaceX was born. While SpaceX was in full startup mode, Elon's first son Nevada was born. Unfortunately, he died of sudden infant death syndrome. At SpaceX, Elon quickly gained a reputation as a staunch leader. One employee said, "If Elon was not happy, you knew it." Things could get nasty. Even one of SpaceX's greatest employees said Steve Davis experienced Elon's lack of caring. Davis was once assigned a task that seemed so impossible that another engineer said any other engineer at any other aerospace company would never have been attempted. The assignment was to take a part that was quoted for $120,000 and build it on Elon's proposed budget of $5,000. Davis spent 9 months and poured his life into it. In the end, he was able to make it only for $3,900. Davis sent Elon an email detailing his greatest accomplishment, to which Elon simply replied, "Okay." Let's talk about founding Tesla. Elon had always seen a future of all electric cars, so when Martin Abraham and Mark Tarpenning approached Musk to become the first inventor in the company named Tesla, Elon was all in. He wanted the car to be an image of the sustainable future. He wanted it to be luxury brand and not some silly looking price. Because of that, he had a lot of say with setting up her company in Silicon Valley and with the visual design of the car. As soon as Tesla created their first workable concept car, they decided to have a brick press event. The event was a success with 30 high profile clients pre ordering the car for $90,000. The bad news for Elon was that in the press release, he wasn't listed as a founder. To make matters worse, a New York Times article about the company also left Elon Musk out. He was passed. As Tesla was beginning to work on fulfilling their first round of pre order cars, things weren't going so well. The parts for the car were too expensive and everything was behind schedule. Musk was not happy, so it was his turn to plot a coup. He called for the board to replace Martin Eberhard as CEO. They agreed, and the original founder of the company was gone. After an interim CEO, Musk took over in 2008. So let's talk about leading SpaceX, Tesla, Hyperloop, SolarCity, and the Boring Company. By this point, Elon has become an expert in leading multiple companies under extreme pressures all at once. In 2008, things were not looking great for Tesla and SpaceX. By Musk's calculation, he only had enough money to save one company. Instead of panicking, Elon was able to keep his cool for long enough for SpaceX to win a contract to become NASA's official supplier for the ISS. A similar Tesla might go out of business situation happened again in 2013. It was so bad that Elon actually had a handshake deal with Google for them to buy and save Tesla. This never happened as Tesla's sales team was able to beat projections and their stock went through the roof. Elon's leadership style continued to stay fierce. To crank up the pace of Tesla's Model S design, they had two sets of employees working 24 hours a day. To quote the author, "it's just never enough for Musk." For example, in 2010, SpaceX had just successfully launched their Dragon capsule, and right before the party, Musk called in his top executives to yell at them because one of the parts for a future rocket was behind schedule. Since managing multiple companies at once, his ugly side definitely reached its ugliest heights. Elon got divorced, and his ex wife, Justine, wrote many nasty articles on a blog about him. He was sued by the original founder of Tesla, Martin Eberhard, for his ouster from the company. And the crowning jewel of his ugliness came from the treatment of his longtime executive assistant, Mary Beth Brown. She basically did everything for him at every company. She never left his side, so one day she asked to get paid like an executive. He told her to take a 2 week vacation and that he would try to see if he could do her job. When she returned, he told that he didn't need her anymore. So friends, these were the dark secrets of Elon Musk. Please let us know how do you like the video, and please like, share, and comment if you like the content. Also, please do not forget to subscribe to receive notifications on newly added content. Thanks.